What's up, everyone? I'm Damien.
And I'm Nick.
And this is the Aki Culture Club.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week for episode 42 of the Aki Culture Club. And we have a banger for you this week.
If you like what Nick and I are doing, we would be eternally grateful if you could like, comment, and subscribe to our show. We want to build this little thing up. We have some greater aspirations than just the two of us. So
I get that whole community involved, making an actual club.
Yes. I like talking to Nick. And I think Nick likes talking to me.
Sometimes.
But we would like to have other people talk as well, because that would be cool.
Yeah, make this a club meeting. We want your input. So just follow along, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
That would be cool. We want to be able to paste people's comments and put them directly on screen and talk about them, or have them just join the Zoom call and I have a little thing set up and we can talk about stuff, for like 10, 15 minutes. That would be rad. So
it would. Exciting things to come, Damien. Yeah. Exciting things. Also, an exciting week of anime.
Oh my God. So exciting, Nick. I feel like, this happened last season too, right? In season 2 of our podcast. And by the end, everything starts getting real crazy, In the very beginning, we're like, oh, I don't know. Everything kind of looks cool. I kind of like this show. And then by the end, we're like, gold. And we're like, oh my God, one after another. And I kind of feel like that kind of happened this time.
It did. It's like, we're reaching like the climaxes of a lot of our shows. Like fucking My Hero, man, and Tokyo Revenger. Well, Tokyo Revengers was last week. We got a kind of a more chill one, but like I saved My Hero because that was something.
Oh my God, we'll pin My Hero for the very end of the show because oh my gosh, was that an awesome episode?
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yes, absolutely. Stay tuned to the end, or you can scrub because we put it in the thing now. Yes. But I mean, even our like our favorite, one of our favorite shows this season that has just been absolutely hilarious up until this point, Moonlit Fantasy.
Yes, some real consequences seem like they're finally happening.
Finally, I thought by episode 10 something would happen because I didn't think we could go an entire season where nothing of substance, like things were happening and it was funny, but like I don't know if anything was like really happening until now.
Yes,
They meet the elves, I guess. Makoto is like in it. Like I think in the last episode, he was like, okay, Mio's gone, Tomo's in. Like, and Tomo, I feel like as a character has way more importance than we actually realize.
Yeah. So like she knew they're ogres. She knew these ogres, like she's like a god to them.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because she's like one of the greater dragons, like a dragon god, and now she's Tomo to us.
Like she's like best girl to us, but like to them she's like the dragon god. And they even said like we want to keep our dragon barrier safe, and I was like, hold on a second. That can't just be Tomo's dragon, or is it like another like fair more evil dragon? No, it's Tomo. Like that's wild.
Yeah, and it's like I think there's a lot of dragons in this universe, but she's like an upper echelon dragon, like a god, dragon god.
Like they fear her greatly. And it was so cool to be like, oh yeah, and I serve him right here. They're like, what the heck? You serve him?
Yeah.
And I just thought like, it still keeps it's like as it's adding the layers of like kind of conflict and interestingness, it still keeps that like it still resonates as like a very funny and keeps the comedy flowing.
Yeah, just the whole like nobody respects our main character, even though he's the most powerful person. And he hasn't really shown it yet. So it's just always funny, his interactions.
Oh yeah. Did we unlock a new character today?
I think we did.
We did. So we got the Overlord.
Yeah, the Lich, right?
The Lich. I call him Overlord. I don't know why, but he gave me very much like Overlord vibes. Okay. Yeah, it's the Lich.
Yeah, the light in the one eye thing that he's got going on is very similar to the Lich King in Adventure Time.
Okay.
When I first saw him, I was like, I feel like I saw this before, and then they said Lich, and I'm like, Adventure Time.
That's it right there. Okay, that's where I like that connection. I'll just throw them up right now so y'all can see how Nick was kind of putting one and one together. 2 and 2, I guess, would be the better term. But we also learned a new character added, but we also learned even more information about Makoto's parents, actually, like a sliver, but they're grants, which I feel like is an interesting term. I wonder what the more literal Japanese translation is.
Yeah.
Because grant in English, it doesn't really make much sense.
No, I feel like they just kind of picked a word that kind of like, are you granted access to the next? You were granted access to the other world. I don't know.
See, that makes a lot more sense. Like, I didn't even think of it like that. You're granted access.
Yeah, and so like there are special cases. It's not. There's very few people who have accessed or escaped this universe to get to another world. And it just so happens that it's our MC's parents.
Yes, I feel like, though, didn't they mention in the very beginning that they traded him away for them to be in Earth, to get out of that plane of that universe? They traded him away, and then they needed. I think so. That's why he got isekai'd, right?
Yeah.
They made like a deal of some sort that when he came of age, of a certain age, he would get transported back, and that was like their trade almost. Like they traded their own child away. I think something like that was what happened.
Yeah. If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And if you speak any Japanese, let us know if grant is the actual word or if it's a different word and they just translated it. They mistranslated it.
It's probably a way cooler sounding word in Japanese.
It probably is. It's probably something like with more substance, because they made it seem like it was like a very big and rare deal to be transported or granted access to another world.
Yeah. So was our Lich, was he just like following them around this whole time, or like his whole goal, he wanted to become a grant?
Yes.
And they're like, you don't become a grant to go to another world, you go to the other world, which makes you a grant. And exactly, kind of like killed all of his motivation.
It like totally destroyed. They gutted this poor man's, dude. They're just like, yeah, you actually have to go there to become a grant, not become a grant. And he was like, oh, that's not good. He's like, I can't do that. And then at first I was like, oh my God, he's turned into a woman. And then I was like, oh no, it's a fabulous man. I was like, oh no, it's a man. He's very luscious, fabulous man. I do say so myself.
Fabulous man. And I'm like so hoping that it creates some sort of tension between like the love triangle that we have going on now, and then Makoto ends up like getting jealous because he's not getting out. Like I want that to happen.
I think that actually might happen. I really, really do, because like he's like the quintessential good looking like warrior dude, and like he could be after both of them, and they may just be like not interested, but maybe they do like feign some sort of interest. And he's like, Makoto's like, oh no. I want to ask you a question about this episode. Did you catch who the voice actor was for the Lich?
I did not. Who is it?
It was another character from a show that we watched this season, and a show that we watched from winter.
This season?
Yes.
Who?
He did two characters this season.
Damn, that's man's working.
Wait, do you want me to tell you?
Yes, I do.
It's the narrator from To Your Eternity.
Oh shit! Is it? It is.
Yeah, it is.
You make that connection now.
And can you guess the other name from the other person? The other character was voiced.
Wait, so he's the Lich, and he's also the narrator, and he's also another character from last season?
From a different season. Winter.
Oh, no, I can't.
He's Kento from Jujutsu Kaisen.
This guy is all over the place.
Dude, I had to add him as like a favorite VA, man. I was like, his voice is just too good. He's voiced way too many good characters.
Yeah.
He also voiced another character too for My Hero Academia. Not this season. I don't think it was from the last season, but he was Overhaul.
Okay.
The dude with the beak.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying all this correctly, because I Googled this like in a quick second.
Yeah.
The character isn't on my anime list for the Lich, not when I checked anyway. And I just had to do like a quick Google search. I put in like, Lich King, and then that was, or Lich, and then his name popped up, and then I Googled his name and it said the narrator. So
yeah,
I hope it is.
the range that this guy has. Like those are completely different characters.
Oh yeah, completely different. I mean, just like in its context, like he's playing what I would be one of the most serious characters from a show that we watched this season to some goofy ass Lich King that is defeated in 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Nice little Aki tidbit right there.
Yeah. I thought I was like, this dude's voice sounds way too familiar. Yeah. And it was when he was defeated and sitting on the ground when he wasn't doing like his theatrics. I was like, you sound like somebody I know.
Now, question for you. What happened to Tomo at the end? Do you know? She just started like coughing up blood, and I forget what she said. I watched this one a couple days ago, so it's still a little fuzzy for me.
Yeah. So it doesn't explain why, but there was an explosion off camera, and she then got hurt and fell over. Okay. I think it's related to the demiplane that she has created, or to the barrier that she created. And I think that she's connected, her mana is connected to those planes of existence. Yeah. So when it gets damaged, she becomes damaged.
Okay. And we've seen things like that before with like sealing and barriers. And it's like the barrier is as strong as the person who cast it. And so they're connected. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. The first time any of our main characters had any sort of like pain.
Yeah.
Anything bad has happened.
And she's like really strong too. So I'm pretty concerned about why that just happened and what's going to move. Like we have like one more episode left and 2 more episodes left. So I feel like there's gonna be some main conflict in the next episode with Tomo. She may die.
Yeah. I mean, following traditional like story arcs, round 10, 11 is when you get your real action, your real climax, and then you have a come down. So like something big's gonna happen next episode.
Big next episode, yeah. And I think one of them was like saying goodbye. That was like that's the name of the episode.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude, so like
she can't die.
I hope not. I hope not, dude. That would suck.
But this show is like it's thrown out every cliche. Like it's not following anything. So it's like if a main character came and then we grew to love them and then they're gone within the first season, like I wouldn't be surprised if it did it.
That's true. I could see them just like taking her out. Mio is stronger than her, so maybe Mio will come and save her, but I don't know. I'm really eager to see what happens next week. I mean, we could watch it. We're recording this on Wednesday and the new episode just dropped, so we could find out if we wanted to directly after this.
All right, it's got to be fresh for next week.
It's got to be fresh. You're right. Can't be doing that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like we say that every week.
Every week.
Our shows.
Well, why can't we be excited? You know,
we watch really good shows.
We do. Well, you know what show I'm not excited for?
I have a guess.
What do you think that show is, Nick?
I think it's Peach Boy Riverside.
You could be correct. You could be correct. Now, I don't necessarily want to say that we need a show every season to crap on, because it definitely has seemed like that's kind of almost a trend a little bit. We had Promised Neverland, and then, I don't think we had anything that was like dog water worthy last season, but Peach Boy Riverside, episode 11.
Oh, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened anymore. I just forget about it.
Yeah, I honestly, you would, because the name of the episode is called Ideals and Reality.
Yes.
Okay. And it's funny because I also realized that we already saw the end of this season. You know that, right?
Yep.
Like Todoroki dying and then walking off into the sunset to go to Legia or Lydia or whatever the heck it's called. That was the end of the season. That's the end.
Yeah.
That was the climax of this entire show. So it's like, oh, we're just learning about Winnie and, Sally. And okay, so what ends up happening? Winnie and Frau are old friends. Oh, that's cute. Okay. All right, cool. Didn't see that one coming. It's kind of weird that they don't realize the power that Sally has. They're like, Carrot's like examining her with her eye, and everyone's like, oh my God, like she's so strong. She's so strong. It's like, okay, like we know this already. Like this isn't news to anyone watching. Okay.
So the
lizard folk show up with an elf. Okay. and they turn up to Winnie to request turning off the barrier so they can go and fight this random ogre in the forest that they have no intel on whatsoever. They just know that there's an ogre in the forest that needs to be attacked because the weather is correct at the right time. Okay, that's fine. That's a plot hole, but nobody cares right now. And not to mention they're getting lazy with the lizards opening their mouth, and they're just like, and they're just like saying words while with their mouth open. It's like, that is why? What kind of why are we doing that? Okay, so laziness. I assume, I don't know. They're probably run ragged over there in the animation department, and they probably are just trying to get this thing done. And I feel really sorry for them. They put into all this work, and the director had to just go and screw their own employees. I've worked with enough creative directors to know the ego that exists in these individuals.
Gotta put your little stamp on it.
You gotta put your stamp on it. You gotta make sure everyone knows that you did it. You're the one, oh my God. And then you just totally just take pants off and crap all over the people that worked so hard to bring this to fruition, and then you take all the credit. But when it's bad, you're like, I don't know about that. It wasn't me. Couldn't be me. Yeah, creative director, we know how you are. Don't worry.
Some pent up rage right now.
I don't know if anyone ever is in this club has worked in design or worked in the advertising agency or creative agency or anything in that realm. That the egos exist high in creativity and creative markets. Nick works in tech, so boy, is it worse there.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh my gosh. So, not to get too carried away. The other thing that really grabbed my jib or shook my jib, Nick, was that the elfin folk straight up told Sally, "Oh yeah, we're just trying to sabotage the lizard folk. We're just gonna send them in there. They're like dog water. No one cares about them. They're just gone. We're gonna peace out of here, like bet." And I'm just like, why are you saying that? Wouldn't it be better for us not to know that was going to happen? And then in the moment they do that, and then Sally has to try to figure out what to do in that current moment.
It's almost like, because to skip to towards the end of the episode, this man's mad.
Dude,
towards the end of the episode, of course they end up having to work together to fight the ogre. So it was almost like lazy writing to show that there's been tension between the lizards and the elves for so long, because we've had no world building. So how would we know that without him saying, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna abandon them"?
You make an amazingly good point that I actually didn't even think of. There's no world building. We don't know who the lizard folk and who the elves are. They're brand new. No one knows them.
They just showed up.
Yeah. Okay. We have lizard folk and hare folk. And we also have ogres that apparently can take the form of anything. So we have we have ogres that look like eagles or walruses
or a fucking tree
at this point. Do we have tree folk in this show? Do we have ents? Yeah, ents. Do we have seal folk? Do we have eagle folk? No one knows. Okay, anyway, we saw, to wrap this dumpster up, because we're not staying on this for too long. At least I don't want to stay on this too long. Do you want to stay on this long?
No, I did write one note, and we've learned that Frau is under a guise of a harefolk.
Yes.
Frau is actually something else.
Yeah.
And it's just posing as a harefolk. That was the only interesting thing that I got out of this episode.
Yes.
Frau is the best part of this whole show.
No, Frau is, I 100% agree. Frau is literally the best part of the show. If this show did not have Frau and the interesting character that they are, I would just be gone. I don't know. Frau is the only thing that's left. I'm like, okay, this is still interesting, and I want to know more. And honestly, I wrote down, I was like, I just gonna read the manga instead. I think I'm just gonna this is one of those shows where I'm just like, I'm just gonna read the manga and see how it actually was supposed to be told, and then just read the entirety of it, and then I'll probably come back and report on what the heck actually happened.
Please do, because I'd like to know.
Yeah, if the manga was actually good, I will definitely. I want to wait till after next week's episode to batten down the hatches and read it, because at the end of this episode, Makito showed up / that I don't even know, the robot ogre dude was posing as another thing. I don't know. And then Sumeragi, and he chops his dude's head off, and Sumeragi's like, "Oh, don't hurt me." But we know that nothing happens to him because we see him kill Todoroki, which is the end of the show. So there's no suspense.
Take a deep breath, man. All right, we're back. We're reeled in.
Yeah, we're here. Okay.
All right. I just one question. Are we gonna do season 2? If there is a season 2.
Oh no.
No.
I don't.
Not worth our time.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't know what else will come out in when the season 2's dropped. They might not even have a season 2. Apparently, this is doing really well in some like random streaming site in Asia. Don't know the particular country, so I don't want to speak and say the wrong country, but apparently this is doing well somewhere in Asia. If anyone knows, let us know. But
they probably have it in order there.
They do. Yes. Yeah.
So, all right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's get off and go to something good. Let's get on a good show. Let me move my notes here.
We have whatever we want to pick from.
Yeah. I want to talk about Fena.
Oh my gosh. Fena, what a rising star amongst shows that we've watched.
Yeah. I'm so glad we picked it up.
Oh, dude, me too. This show was like, they took this entirety of what we thought we knew, and they were just like gray area.
Yep. That's one of my notes. We're in the gray again. Our favorite place.
Yeah, I didn't think. Go ahead.
Who are the good guys? Nobody knows.
No one knows, Nick. No one knows. I sure as heck don't. And honestly, and masterful writing in the fact that when she was talking to Captain Abel, before she started speaking to him, Yukimaru said to one of the twins, we do not harm women or children. When in response to like, why didn't we hurt that gang of women that came and stole Fena? He directly said that in private, like, so that's one of their virtues. Then we see Captain Abel say to Fena, like, the goblins will come and snatch you away. And that's a fate, like
it's folklore of this universe.
Precisely. But we know it's fake because we the audience have the ability to see Yukimaru say that, right? But then they make it hard to so he says a lie about them, but then he also says to her, they're just using you as to get the coordinates to go to El Dorado, right?
Which when we hear that, we're like, no, these are the good guys. Like, they're not doing that. They left Fena. And then we pan over to the ship that they're on. And the powers that be of the goblins were using Fena as a way to get the coordinates.
That's precisely it, Nick.
That's precisely it. Excellent writing, like you said.
Excellent. I was just like, damn, who do I trust? And I was like, even though Fena is like, Yukimaru does love him, but Fena is a witch.
Yeah. So they said witch. I still don't really understand the point of the witch, because like they explained it in this episode. They said Fena is a witch. She steals the heart of everyone she meets and then leads those she's bewitched to their doom. Doesn't that mean she's just like a likable person?
Yes. The first part I would say is they're a likable person, but the leading to your doom thing strikes me as like she has like this unintentional aura around her that those who become involved with her end up befalling to some sort of tragedy.
Yeah, and we know there's some mystic shit going on with her. Like she's like a reincarnation, or she's hearing voices. Like we know something's going on. So maybe she's cursed. Maybe it is reincarnation of someone who was bad before. We don't know that much.
Exactly. That's a really good point. She could be cursed because there is some mystic things going on. Like, what if it was like the lineage of your family will be cursed until you arrive at El Dorado and, take the treasure back for your people or something along those lines. And kind of like a Madame Zeroni type thing, you're just kind of cursed through your lineage until you fix the problem
throwback of Madame Zeroni. I like that.
Oh my God. If you know what that movie's from, comment it in the description below.
Yeah, we won't say.
Yes, but it's an old school John. Don't you worry.
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah. It's a great movie.
Like my favorite book when I was young, I'd read I almost said it. I read that book so many times.
Oh my god, dude.
Cut it out. You can bleep it.
I got you. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I always wanted to try sploosh. I thought that would be the coolest thing. Like their little peach, their fermented peach.
If sploosh doesn't give it away, you just don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know from that, I'm sorry. Apologize that your parents didn't let you watch the show, the movie.
From the beginning of this episode, though, when it started to evolve to we have two parties searching the same thing, which is El Dorado. Something, I don't know what it was, in like just clicked for me, and I'm like, I bet there's not actually a treasure there. And they're gonna get there, and everyone is gonna be let down. So it's like we're gonna have this conflict going between, our two main parties now. I bet we're gonna learn about, because we learned about the kid with the bowl cut, and like he kind of made him like him because he was protecting Fena. And Abel doesn't seem like he's that bad of a guy, but we also love Yukimaru and the twins and all the other guys. And so like we're gonna have these two parties. They're both gonna be fighting to get there. Stakes are gonna be high, and then they're gonna get there, and it's like the real treasure were the friends you made along the way. Or something
my god. So like this was like the mid-season, like kind of like not like finale, like the mid-season, like, oh, this is like the cool thing that happens in the middle season. I don't know what's called, I forget. I could see El Dorado being a false flag for sure. Like they get there and there's nothing there, and they're like, oh, where do we go? And then they figure something out, or there's some sort of battle or something. Like this crazy dude K I don't know, he seems to be extremely feared by those in the goblins. Like he seems like someone who could kill. He kind of gives me older Yukimaru vibes, like it could be his older brother. Which I think it might have been the dude that was talking to their father, like, why are you sending him? He may be cursed by the, under her spell or whatever. It still doesn't tell who like the person who sent the carrier pigeon was yet.
Right.
And like it might have been from the goblins headquarters, but it might have been someone else that we haven't seen. But at the end of the day, like it's gonna be, I think you're right, it's gonna be the English, the women, Yukimaru, Key, I think. And then their group is going to show up last, kind of like save the day type of thing.
Yeah.
I do think that there's going to be some sort of squabble between multiple parties, and we're not going to know who to root for.
That gray area we love to just swim around in.
Oh yeah.
That's what makes a good show. That is one of the tenets of a good show, is when you don't really know who to root for.
Yeah, it's great when they like don't tell you everything up front, like what they're going to do, and then not do it, and that's really cool, So like some shows where they just tell you,
just tell you that there's been tension between two races forever, just like, in one sentence. Oh, okay,
that's cool. I love that. No, and I also think that this show is going to take us all around the world. Like I think El Dorado, like they were in Germany, and then they were in France, and now we're going to go to South America. I also think that we're going to, like, they do call them the people from the goblins from the East, which I think is like racist kind of. But we're probably going to go back to what they refer to as the East.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So time will tell with this.
Time will tell. It's very good.
And it is.
If you guys aren't watching it, give it a try. It's like an Americanized-ish anime, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's just different. It's good.
Different. It's good.
Built different.
Yeah, it's built different. It is, I think, Adult Swim's first foray into like a partnership with Crunchyroll into anime. And Toonami's always been like a huge proponent of anime, and like a lot of Americans' first introduction was probably through Toonami, especially in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z with my dad on Toonami.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. So the fact that they created an anime with Crunchyroll and it's really good is really promising, and I'm like happy that it's going this way.
Yeah, that's Fena.
That's Fena, bro.
Give it a try.
We'll be carrying it over into season 4 of our podcast.
Do you know how many episodes we're going to get in this first season?
It's 12.
12. Okay. Cool.
So 6 more weeks. So it'll bring us into like October, end of October.
Dude, we're saving My Hero for last.
Okay.
So we got to hop into a lighthearted, like breath of fresh air with this show that we haven't had in a long time. And there's actually some humor and some fun going on. And
Lots
that's Tokyo
of fun.
Revengers.
Tokyo Revengers. Man, I really loved this episode.
It was so nice.
It was so nice. It was a true come down episode, I think, from the craziness that we saw with the Bloody October.
Yes.
It started off, kind of like where we left off with Mikey and Shifu over Baji's grave, and Draken and Takamichi with Kazutoro in jail. But then we kind of just go right into the episode after the intro, and it becomes, I want to say like I get slice of life vibes.
Yeah, I mean, like there was some conflict in air quotes, but it wasn't really conflict. It was like funny conflict, and
that's why I get the slice of life vibes, because it's just like, first off we get okay. Actually, I'm gonna take a step back because I do have a question. Takamichi's been to Draken's place before, hasn't he? He was in a brothel before, and like Hina called him, didn't she?
Yeah.
And like episode like 4 or 5.
I don't know if it was a brothel though, because the girl was Emma.
The girl was Emma.
So I don't know if it was a brothel. It was just like he was just being a little snake boy. And like so you're talking about when he like came back to the past and woke up and there's a girl over top of him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was Emma, wasn't it?
I thought maybe
it was a character that we knew. Began to know more.
Okay.
Yeah. And like she like didn't actually want to do anything with him. She was trying to get back at Draken.
Got it. Yeah.
I think that's what was going on.
But they weren't in his house or in the brothel that he lived in, right?
No.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Which that brothel scene was pretty hilarious.
Dude, I like that scene. Was first of all, like he just gets coaxed into it. Like he's just like, she's like, oh, Takamichi. He's like, okay. And he like, shuffles his way. She's like, I need you to shower before. She's like, you're totally my type, Takamichi. And then it's like
just spooning him the whole time.
Yeah. And then Dragon's like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, I want to have my virginity taken. Like, thank you so much, Draken-kun. I appreciate you so much. Like, this is a big step for me. And then he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
I mean, we knew it wasn't actually going to happen, but I was rooting for him. I wanted it to happen. He's been through a lot. This past couple of months. This man needs to relax. And then the character who's the woman who was the brothel attendant, I suppose, her personality completely shifted. And she's like, come on. She's like, what are you talking about? I need to take care of I need to check in on my clients. Just stop bringing your friends around here. This is like a place where we work. And I was like, oh man, she changed up on you, bro. Yep. She was putting on the spoon fed, like just everything that he wanted. Like she just fed right into it.
Oh, she did.
Professional.
Yeah, we have to remember that like that like I guess maid cafes are a much more PG version of what we watched, but they kind of do the same thing. It's such thing that happens in Japan. You go there and you pay for the experience of having a woman kind of be nice to you. Wow,
that's crazy. That's a thing. It's not crazy. I understand it, but like, yeah. Just it's crazy to us because we don't have anything like that.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think our Puritan culture would allow such a thing to occur in this country of ours.
No.
For oh my gosh, we market everything through sex, but the second that sex is actually talked about is the most taboo subject to ever exist.
Damon's got some feelings, as you can tell.
Man, don't be hypocritical. That's all I'm saying,
Dude, we should have a second podcast about politics. Damien just goes off.
Oh no, I like to think about anime and talk about anime, Nick.
The escape.
This is what makes me happy. I don't want to be angry. No, that's a terrible word. I want to regret saying that. Yeah, it's from a TikTok. It's so stupid. Anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's the most cringiest thing in entire I've seen on TikTok. But I say it sometimes as a joke to my girlfriend. She thinks it's cringy, and that's why I laugh. And then I just said it out loud here.
It's pretty cringy.
Yeah, it's cringy.
But back to the show.
Yeah, let's go back to this.
So the whole brothel scene happens, and then you get like nice little heartfelt moment between Draken and Takemichi. He's like, other than Mikey, the only person I ever brought here. And then Takemichi leaves, and he somehow meets up with Hinata, and they have this whole like Watson and the detective thing going on, like better than the show that we dropped, detective going on. And we find out that Emma is actually Mikey's little sister, and they thought this whole time that Mikey was like being the other guy, and Emma was cheating on Draken, which that was just a lot of fun.
Best. Oh my god, was that hilarious? Because I was like, oh no, that's Draken's girl. What the heck, Mikey? Why would you do that? And they were like, yeah, they leave early in the morning together. Like she's obviously staying the night. And like in anime, I'll say more appropriately, after watching enough romance anime, that they take things slow, man, in anime. So like holding hands is a big deal. Like, I mean, we see it with Mio. Like that's kind of an exaggeration, like the whole 31 seconds thing, but it does like take some time to like warm up to those types of stuff. And like in a show like Girlfriend, which is a dumpster trash fire of a show, like he has like 10 episodes in, he hasn't even kissed the girls that he lives with yet. So it's like the fact that they're implying that Emma is like staying the night at Mikey's place and leaving in the morning says a lot,
Yeah.
Like this isn't like no American college vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like this is different in anime, staying the night.
Yeah. And then when Draken comes in and like he just puts the bear on her head and was like, happy birthday, and then walks out, I'm just like, you're so cool, man.
Oh, dude, he's so smooth. Man, that man's cold as ice, bro. Oh, so cool.
Like I said what I needed to say. I'm leaving now. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He's such a cool dude. I added him into my favorite character list.
He is. He deserves to be on there. But dude, as soon as Draken said to Takemichi that come prepared to this meeting tonight because Mikey's got something real important to tell you, I fucking knew that we weren't going to find out what it is this episode.
Dude,
I always do it.
They do it, and they do it a lot, but it's like, dude, this show is so good. I can't hate on it because it's like, because I know in the next episode we'll find out what it is and it's gonna be cool. That's the thing. Like it's not gonna be lame, and they're hyping it up as something cool. And the fact that it ended with Kisaki being there, right? But then who was standing next to Mickey? Hanma, dude, and Shifu. Like, what is going on?
They know how to end it on a cliffhanger, man.
Dude, I mean, first initial impression, they absorbed Valhalla. And we're going on in a completely different timeline than what happened in the past.
Well, that's Kisaki's plan, was for them to merge.
Oh, it was, but I thought it was under his plans that he would then overtake. Because it was, well, no, you're right. So it was if Valhalla won, he would reveal himself as the leader of Valhalla, and then he'll merge the two because he's also the leader of Toman. But if Toman won, then they'll merge to Valhalla. He'll still stay the third captain, and then he'll have to use another means to then take over the merged group.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's still all in his plan, but I think the last plan was Mikey killing Kazutora and then just never showing up ever again, and then he takes over both.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some new snakery from Kisaki that we haven't seen yet.
Yep. And it like... yeah, it's still, he's changed the past. Again, we've said it before, he changes the past in small ways, and it sort of affects and it branches the 5 degrees this way. But they're still going to merge.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the announcement's like, Mikey, you're in charge of some, or not Mikey, Takemichi's going to be like a leader of something because he earned it. And it's like, I don't know. We'll see.
I would laugh so hard if he gets leader of some Valhalla group and then they like don't respect him at all. And Or maybe they do respect him and they're also just like a bunch of nerds in Valhalla because they had double the people, Yeah. So like if they have 300 kids, one of them could be like they could have like a nerd group that he has to like take over.
That would be pretty hilarious.
That would be awesome. That would be funny. It's crap.
Yeah, Tokyo Avengers. It was just nice.
It was a nice one.
Yeah, it was nice because we haven't had that. It's been all attention for the last like 6 episodes, and it's been awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it was good.
It was good to see a little slice of life action. I'm happy about it though, for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna need another break after the freaking My Hero episode, man.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just gonna say it.
Go.
Most tragic anime backstory in the history of anime. That was brutal. I mean, there's like on paper, there's more tragic, like your whole clan dies or something like that. But like the way that they animated this and the things that happened to this poor kid, that was rough.
The things that he was feeling, like for one, he has very mixed feelings about his family unit.
Mm-hmm.
He loves his mother and his sister, hates his father, but now learns that his grandmother was a hero and had a pretty important quirk.
Mm-hmm. What was her quirk? I don't remember.
I think it's one for all, isn't it?
Wait, really?
I'm pretty sure his grandmother was one of the vestiges for one for all.
Shit, I think you might be right. She looked like one of the vestiges that we've seen before, and she looked All Might's.
She looks like All Might's trainer. Damn. So I think that was her. I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't, let us know.
Dude, I think you might be right, which just makes it even crazier. Yeah. So like his dad was like refusing them to even play hero. Like they can't even just play pretend hero because they're not allowed to become heroes because heroes leave the people that they care about to do hero shit. He's got some abandonment issues.
He does. And without addressing all of those issues in therapy, he decides to try to mask it with making money, creating a big house, moving in his wife's parents to try to create some sort of family unit that he missed out on when he was young, and is doing things, I want to say, by the wrong way. And he pays for it.
He really pays for it. Like when Shigaraki was like sitting there crying with the dog, and the dog came up to him, I was like, no.
Me too. I was like, bro,
this cannot happen. I sent you that timestamp too, and I was like, you could use this as a post or something, and it's him sitting there with the dog, and it's like, you know, and I'm just like, it made me. I was like getting sick to the stomach because I knew it was coming.
I had a feeling when I first saw the corgi, I was like, oh, a corgi, because I love corgis. And I was like, oh no, hold on a second. We do know a little bit that he kills because we didn't see it, like the hands are from his family. So we knew that they were going to die. But when I saw the corgi, I was like, oh no, this poor Korg. And then what ended up happening?
So Cigarette, what's his name? His actual name? I don't remember.
Tenko Shimura.
Yeah. So Tenko is like he gets into his dad's office and he learns about his grandma, yada yada yada. His dad yells at him, and then he goes outside and he's crying, and the dog comes up to comfort him because dogs are the best. And then it like pans out, and you see him sitting there, and he's like holding the dog, and of course that's when his power kicks in, and the dog just turns to pieces. Like not like I thought his decay power like they just turned to ash, but it's like sliced up and there's like a pool of blood and dog bits that you can like tell it's still a dog, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
How did my hero turn into this has not been something that thematic themes that they've had throughout the show. Like this is what?
Yes.
Like blood and the dog bits, which tells me that his power decay started as that. That was an unmatured power, like an unmatured quirk. And that's how it started. But then he trained it to be the full decay into dust. And we see him do it to his sister.
Oh, dude, she comes up and she's like, she wants to comfort him because like it's kind of her fault. I don't really remember the details, but it was like kind of her fault, and she blamed him. She's like coming up to say sorry, and then she sees a dog and screams, and he's just like running to her to like grab her. So she like says sorry to him, and then she turns to pieces.
And then his mom, this is, I think, the saddest bit was when his mom starts to decay, but she's falling towards him to hug him and comfort him for the pain that he's experiencing. And as he's falling into her arms, she decays into like nothingness.
Dude, it was just so tragic. And he's like talking about his emotions, like he's narrating his emotions when this is going on, and he's talking about like despair and sadness that he has when his mom and his sister and his dog dies, and then it switches to like anger, and like he kills his dad. Like it's not an accident. He like the same hand that he puts on his face that's what he did to his dad. He jumps up and he grabs his dad by the face and melts him.
Slams. So that tells me that like he was conflicted. Like, yes, he loved his mom and his sister and his dog, but he wanted to kill his dad. And he took pleasure in killing his father. And even more so, his itch went away.
That's an interesting detail. Like he's like scratching his neck and he's got this like anxiety going the whole time. He's itchy and he kills his dad and it's gone.
He's like, I only itch when I'm in the house, he said.
Yeah. And then the perfect metaphor, the house crumbles and episode's over.
And that's it. And you're like, wow, I can't believe that they're doing this to us right now.
Dude, it left me speechless, to be honest. Like,
really?
My Hero has been like kind of goofy. Like we don't really see blood a lot in this show. Like
we don't really see anyone get hurt really, unless it's like a villain that you're like, yeah, it's a villain, you know, who cares?
But they just melted. He melted his dog
into bits of corgi bits and blood, dude.
And like you could tell that it was still chunks of dog. I'm just like, fuck, man.
He was like,
yeah. So yeah, maybe I understand now why he's a villain.
Yeah, I can totally understand why he's a villain now, and how like he's a lot stronger now, though. That I think because he was really contending with Red Destroyo.
And it goes back to the point that we talked about last episode or an episode ago, that you're cursed to become evil with some of the quirks that you get. Like if he didn't know what his quirk was going to be, like the decay. His family didn't have anything like that, so like of course he's going to touch something that's not supposed to decay. And it's just he's cursed.
Yeah, and that's it for him for the rest of his life. It's like it's like your contract is signed once you figure out what your quirk is.
Yeah, and like he wears gloves now, but like he can't really. I'm assuming he can like control when it actually happens now. But you know, as a kid, when his quirk first comes on, like he's bound to touch something.
Yeah, you're bound, and he did touch the ball, but he had no idea what to do. And he had a family that really didn't want them to talk about powers or heroes at all. So it was like, even if he did get a quirk, he would be like, oh crap, I can't tell my dad about this. Like, then you have to sit with the pain of like, what if he just killed his dog and then like hid himself, you know? And that's the route that they decided to go down storytelling wise. They didn't, obviously. They went a completely different route, which was, I think, better. Brutal and better, to say the least, than just, you know, going down a slower route to tell the story.
Speechless at the end of it.
I don't know what's gonna. And then the next episode's also an origin episode too. So it says instead of this episode was Tenko Shimura origin. The next one is Shigaraki origin.
Yeah, because now he gets picked up by One for All, or All for One, and yeah, they've got to go through that whole thing now.
Yep, and then that's what we'll find out in the next episode.
Wow. Suddenly I am just very excited for My Hero. Like, dude, I always enjoyed it, but I was never like really looking forward to it, and this was just it.
And then this episode, you're like, oh my God, we only have 3 left, and there's so much I want to know.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting all that, but geez, My Hero, you guys definitely earned yourself a higher rating than your previous seasons for sure.
For sure. My villain Academia was the savior of this show.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, this season, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can't believe we're in the same season as their AB fights that they had for 10 episodes.
Yeah, this is so much better.
So much better. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. And then next week we'll find out.
We're all that's our shows, man. That's all 5.
That's it.
You got any others you were working on? I know you've been busy.
I have been busy. Nothing new yet. So we will get there at the end of the season. We'll have a wrap-up episode, I think. A full official. It'll be like a new thing we'll do, I think.
I would love a whole episode of me just sitting here listening to you talk about the shows that you watched. The whole day me gets fired up.
I think that's what we're gonna do, a special episode. Maybe it will be up like one of the weekly episodes when there's nothing going on, that we will rate every show that we watched. And then we'll do like a superlatives type of thing. Our favorite character, our best girl, our favorite moment, favorite villain, like part you wish you could rewrite, like and kind of do that.
Okay.
I think that would be really fun for us to do, but then also as we grow and we can have more people add what they thought was the best. And then we can start taking polls and having people come on and talk about their favorites. And I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, I'm all in, man. That sounds great.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think we did it, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming to our 42nd club meeting. We are your 2 wannabe weebs, where we detail the season's newest shows and one day the analysis of some old favorites. You can find us at akiculture.club or at akicultureclub on social media.
Only one way to end these.
Peace out.
See you.